And here we have the 8 o'clock position on Atlanta Spaceship, our blue Zerg player from Team MVP. It is Monster. And his opponent at the 12 o'clock position from Evil Geniuses, Korean Terran player, very solid one at that. It is Puma.
All right, so Puma, I remember when Puma and Hero kept going back and forth at tournament finals and kept running into each other.
ASL and
yeah, but now there's so many Korean players going to these foreign events, not just the ones on these. Actually, I guess what I should say is there are more Korean players playing at these foreign events because there are more Koreans on foreign teams.
Yes.
You know, it used to be that Hero and Puma were just the most represented because they did actually get on those foreign teams pretty quickly. But now, you know, Millennium has 4GG. They've got Fnatic with a bunch of Korean players as well, and just all these different teams picking up Korean players left and right. You don't get those mashups quite as often as you used to. Now you see Tasia actually bumping heads with a bunch of people over and over. And yeah, it's getting very very varied is what I actually want to say, but I didn't. When I thought about it, I didn't want to say it. It sounds weird.
Queued up SEVs. We're going to see a command center first from Puma. That does sound kind of very varied. Yeah. Very varied.
Well, it's only a little varied. It is very varied.
Yes.
Yeah.
I suppose so. Quite varied. All right. Like I said, though, it's a kind of an interesting map choice from Puma, I have to say. This is usually a map that Zerg players love because there's a lot of running paths. There's very wide open flanking opportunities. It's easy to expand all over the map and play that, I almost want to say, kind of the narrative Zerg style where it is just swarm units everywhere. So, I mean, I don't know. Puma has to have something specifically in mind for this, I would imagine.
When you said narrative Zerg style, it reminded me that you haven't played the campaign. And then I saw, I remembered the statistic that I just saw on Reddit that they said someone interviewed Blizzard, and Blizzard said that half the people who buy the game only play the campaign. So you are the opposite end of that spectrum.
Yeah, I've played 3 missions.
Well, think about it. If half the people who buy the game play only for the campaign, that logically means that the other half play some multiplayer.
In some capacity.
That's what that means.
Yeah.
But most of them have also played the campaign. So you're actually the minority.
Yes.
You are
only played multiplayer.
Really, yeah, that's interesting. So
I played 3 missions, all right?
3 missions. That's like throw a Marine from A to B.
Do the challenges count? Because I've done the.
Those are on BattleNet, so they're multiplayer.
I told my coming back and playing the 3rd mission story, right? Like I played the first 2 missions, went and played multiplayer for a long time, came back and decided, oh, okay, I'll play the 3rd mission now. Yeah, exactly. But I sat there and I was like macro, and then I just walk up and there's like 10 Zerglings waiting for me, and I have max supply army. I was like, oh, this is.
That's why they have Brutal, because even some StarCraft pros can't beat Brutal. Brutal's actually incredibly hard. You know, there are some little tricks and things that you can do to make it a little bit easier on yourself, but we have a game developing. We can actually talk about Terran buildings for the first time in a couple of hours or a couple of matches perhaps, but we've got, actually, we didn't talk about Terran buildings. Oh, we did yesterday. Okay, so you know, we had command centers and refineries. I'm trying to remember all of them. Factory, I think, is one.
It's true. There's one building right now.
Widow mines, I believe, are a big one. No?
Not yet. Oh. No.
Only when QXC plays. He somehow wills them into the game.
So Puma decided to go command center first into gas before barracks. He's adding on his 2nd one right now, so he obviously has an idea that he wants to use, or that he wants quite a bit of tech. And this is actually incredibly well timed out, I have to say, because as soon as he swaps these over, has the starport coming up, but yet had enough to get his factory done as quick as possible. So very cleverly timed out build here from Puma, and I'm curious to see how it develops. His opponent, on the other hand, went for almost that Hyun style of expand first, of course, and then pool into gas. But this is something totally different. Never mind. I was waiting for another hatchery or something along those lines, but it is going to be an ultra quick layer. Yep,
pretty darn quick layer there, and he's got the option of making lots and lots of mutas. He could go mutaling Baneling. He could, let's see, what else would benefit him going extremely quickly into layer here? Roach speed.
I mean, he could decide to go, you know, in faster expand or something like that, but I mean, that would be relatively difficult to pull off, and they do move slowly across the map. So with quad gas, I would imagine this is going to be Mutas, but we'll see here in a bit what he decides to do.
Yeah, I think Mutalisk is probably going to be the most likely, especially with, you know, Terran players tend to make quite a lot of Hellions to get started in TVZ, so Mutas do a great job defending against that. If Hellions don't show up soon, then obviously Monster will have an even bigger advantage because he won't know that he's already switched into Mutalisks. Banshees get taken out by Mutas very quickly as well, and you see the Spire getting dropped now for Monster, so that is indeed what we'll be seeing. It's just a matter of how much gas he can collect before that Spire finishes. Probably going to be 7 to 8 Mutas in that first volley.
And Zergling tried to make its way up the ramp here, but it was killed very quickly by the Marines in the bunker and the Hellion up at the top. So didn't get to see anything, didn't see the Banshees, didn't see the third command center that's on the way. Now Puma's not producing Cloak. And here we go. We actually have a Baneling Nest coming down too. It was this Monster, is this Leenock playing? Because, I mean, this looks like a very Leenock style circa December 2011 build.
That was a long time ago.
Yeah, it was.
Yeah, I don't even know what day it is anymore, but I feel like that was a while ago. Yeah, so what just happened? Oh, an Overlord got taken out. Monster getting supply blocked there. It looks like we've got that first Banshee flying around from Puma, but I think Monster spotted it with his Lings that were running around underneath. So, yeah, the Queen's actually going to get in position pretty quickly here to try and ward off this Banshee. There's no Cloak, as you said, and Spire will be done. He's going to have 700 gas the moment it's completed, so he can start making quite a lot of Mutas.
Now, Puma did get down here, and he saw that there was no creep from a third hatchery, and I wonder how he's going to react to that, because that can be a bit disconcerting to a Terran player. He is putting down 2 more barracks, but that's about when this would happen anyways. He's going after that mini command center, huge upgrade style.
All right, 7 Mutas on the way, Lings on the way, Baneling Speed on the way, so Baneling, Ling, Muta. Definitely going to be the order of the day for Monster here against Puma. That is a pretty standard Zerg build that dates back all the way from when Roaches got nerfed and Roach Hydra stopped being used in every single match. It got switched to Baneling Ling Muta to take advantage of Siege Tank immobility. You can use what I call the Zerg Shredder and just roll through everything. So as the Mutas come in here toward the top of Puma's base, I don't know really what kind of turret coverage he has or anything.
Ooh, none.
Actually, none at the moment. So that could be really devastating. A bunch of Hellions are actually making their way over to Monster's base, though, to try and get some drone kills.
All right. Well, the Marines that were inside of the base are immediately killed. The Hellions are retreating. Oh, because there's a huge round of Zerglings and Banelings running their way in, and they are going to make it into the main. Oh, no, Puma!
That is a lot of Lings to have to deal with when all of your Hellions are away, not to mention the Mutalisks that are going to be able to intercept them and whittle them down before they can even get to the Lings. GG from Puma in just a 10-minute game. Things were looking okay for him until the